Welcome back to Learn Oilfield Stuff's episode 3 of our video series about mud logging. In this episode, we will familiarize on how to read the mud log. We have very interesting stuffs to talk about, so let's begin. A mud log is a detailed record used in oil and gas drilling operations that provides comprehensive information about the geology encountered during drilling. It serves as a crucial tool for geologists and engineers to understand the subsurface conditions, optimize drilling operations, and evaluate potential hydrocarbon reserves. A mud log typically consists of several sections such as the main header. The main header may provide the name of the well where the mud logging was conducted, and also unit of measurement for depth in well log scale. The well log scale represents the ratio of a foot of the mud log chart to that of the actual logging interval. In this example, 1 foot of the mud log paper records 200 feet of the actual hole interval. The main header is followed by multiple subheaders that are composed of company and well information. The company and well information section provides information on the company name and well-related information such as well name, well location, date when the well was drilled, datum, elevation, and rig details. Borehole record. The borehole record provides information on the hole sizes drilled on the well and their corresponding section depths. Casing record. The casing record provides information on the size, depth, and sometimes type of the casing strings installed in the well. Abbreviations for the terminologies used in providing descriptions. This section provides information on the various abbreviations used in documenting various events and markers along the mud log interval. Information on abbreviations for common operational terminologies such as viscosity, weight on bit, filtrate, filter cake, flow check, trip gas, and the like are presented in this section. Engineering and lithological descriptions. This section provides information on the symbols used in representing various lithologies encountered in the logged interval, as well as symbols documenting the presences of gas and hydrocarbons, as well as bit change depth and casing setting points. The log interval and its inclusive dates. This section provides information of the start and end depths of the logging interval, as well as the start and end dates for the set interval. Mud type used for the logged interval contained in the mud log. Mud types can be water-based, oil-based, synthetic, and brine-based. Pressure test and sampling symbols. Pressure tests are normally conducted after a casing is run and cemented. This is called casing pressure test. Also, prior to drilling the next hole section, a formation pressure test called leak-off test is conducted. Pressure test symbols are used to document the type and quality of the pressure tests. Meanwhile, drilled cuttings that arrived at the surface may be sampled to determine the presence of gas and/or hydrocarbons. The depth as to where cuttings were sampled are normally marked using the sampling symbols. Information on the geologists that have reviewed and approved the mud log, and details of the mud logging crew. Below these subheaders, we find columns for the various data collected during the mud logging operation. Typically, the data columns contained in a mud log are ROP or rate of penetration, depth, cuttings percentage, fluorescence, total gas units, chromatograph, mud weight, and lithological descriptions and remarks. The ROP, rate of penetration columns, shows how fast the drill bit is penetrating through the formation layers. It's measured in feet per hour or meters per hour. Some mud log charts also presents the weight on bit, WOB, and surface torque within the ROP data column. Depth. The depth column on the mud log shows the depth of the well bore at which the cuttings or gas samples were recorded. It helps to correlate the geological and hydrocarbon information with the subsurface formations. The depth is usually measured in feet or meters from a reference point, such as the rotary table or the sea level. The depth column also indicates the casing point, bit changes, coring intervals, and formation tops. Cutting percentage. The cuttings percentage column on the mud log shows the estimate of gross lithology as a percentage of cuttings. It helps to identify the different types of rocks encountered during drilling, such as shale, sandstone, clay, etc. The lithology column is usually represented by various patterns indicating the rock types. For example, in the image shown on the screen, the gray-colored interval with horizontal line pattern indicates shale. The yellow box with dots pattern indicates sandstone. And the light green box with horizontal line pattern indicates clay. Fluorescence. The fluorescence column on the mud log shows, if applicable, the fluorescence exhibited by the cuttings when exposed to ultraviolet (UV) light. Fluorescence is a property of some hydrocarbons that causes them to emit visible light when irradiated by UV light. In this mud log chart, the depth interval that exhibited fluorescence, if any, is flagged using red rectangle icon. Total gas units. The total gas units column on the mud log shows the total amount of combustible gas extracted from the drilling mud and cuttings in gas units measured by a gas detector. The total gas units column helps to identify potential hydrocarbon zones, overpressured zones, and also evaluate the reservoir fluids. The gas units are usually displayed numerically and graphically with peaks indicating higher gas presence. The total gas data column also records when the instances of wiper trip gas, background gas, connection gas, and formation gas had occurred. A wiper trip gas is a brief influx of gas that is introduced into the drilling fluid when the drill string is moved up and down in the wellbore for cleaning or conditioning purposes. This gas may come from the formation or from the recycled gas in the mud system. A background gas are gases dissolved in or expelled from the drilling mud additives. This occurs more in oil-based mud systems than in water-based, and gas liberation from the crushed rock downhole while drilling through. An example are drilled shale cuttings can release gas into the drilling mud when they are circulated up the hole as the hydrostatic pressure decreases. A connection gas is a brief influx of gas that is introduced into the drilling fluid when a pipe connection is made. Before making a connection, the driller stops the mud pumps, thereby allowing gas to enter the wellbore at depth. Gas may also be drawn into the wellbore by minor swabbing effects resulting from short movements of the drill string that occur during the connection. Connection gas usually occurs after one lag interval following the connection. A formation gas is gas that originates from the formation and is indicative of the hydrocarbon potential of the formation. Formation gas is usually distinguished from other types of gas by its higher volume and longer duration. The chromatograph ppm data column on the mud log chart provides the concentration of hydrocarbon gases in parts per million ppm detected by the gas chromatograph. The column shows the values for C1 methane, C2 ethane, C3 propane, and C4 plus butane and higher hydrocarbons. These gases are indicators of the presence and quality of oil and gas in the formation. The higher the concentration and the heavier the gas, the more likely the formation is to contain commercially viable hydrocarbons. The mud weight ppg data column on the mud log chart provides the density of the drilling fluid in pounds per gallon ppg at different depths. The drilling fluid, or mud, is used to lubricate the drill bit, carry the cuttings to the surface, and balance the pressure in the wellbore. The mud weight is an important parameter that affects the drilling performance and safety. Lithological descriptions and notes. The lithological description and notes column on the mudlog chart provides information about the rock types, colors, textures, mineralogy, porosity, fluorescence, and gas shows encountered during drilling. It also records any special events such as bit changes, casing records, pressure tests, and sample analyses. This column helps the geologist to interpret the subsurface geology and hydrocarbon potential of the well. Now let's look at this mudlog excerpt. This mudlog documents fairly routine drilling, where a 9 7/8 inch casing was set in a sandstone clay interval at 7,580 feet. After cementing and drilling out the cement shoe track, the drilling mud was conditioned. The drilling mud in and out density recorded was 10.8 ppg. Afterwards, a leak-off test (LOT) was conducted and an equivalent mud weight of 14.8 ppg was achieved. A new hole section below the 9 7/8 inch casing was drilled from 7,580 feet to around 7,650 feet at an ROP of about 25 to 30 feet per hour. The drilling crew then decided to trip the drill string out of the hole for a new bit. During the trip out for a new bit, a pit gain of 6.3 barrels was recorded. This means that during the trip out, 6.3 barrels of equivalent gas from formation have entered the well bore. The recorded value of trip gas in this instance was 1,548 units. After running the drill string with a new bit back to bottom at 7,650 feet, the mud weight was increased from 10.8 ppg to 11.3 ppg and drilling recommenced. The ROP during the drilling of the hole section from 7,650 feet to about 7,750 feet was still around 25 to 30 feet per hour. However, presence of connection gas was observed in an increasing trend. The drilling crew decided to increase the mud weight incrementally from 11.3 ppg to 11.7 ppg to counteract the connection gas. An increase in ROP was observed when drilling from 7,750 to around 7,820 feet. The ROP returned to the average trend when drilling from 7,820 to 7,880 feet. An increase in formation gas was observed when drilling from 7,880 to 8,000 feet. The increase in formation gas was accompanied by an increase in ROP, which is also known as drilling break. This indicated that the formation pressure is increasing, which could be caused by gas influx coming from the sand column drilled. The gas chromatograph reading indicated that the formation gas that entered at this drilling interval are mainly composed of ethane, propane, and butane. To keep the wellbore pressure balanced, the drilling crew decided to increase the mud weight to 12.7 ppg. To wrap up our discussion, when looking at a mudlog, you should start by identifying the well information. This will typically include the well name, a unique identifier for the well, the operator, the company that owns or leases the well, and the location of the well, the geographic coordinates, the state or province, and the country. This information can help you to compare the well with other wells in the same area or region. Look at the depth scale on the left side of the log. This will tell you how deep the well is at any given point, measured in feet or meters. The depth scale is divided into intervals, usually 100 feet or 30 meters, which correspond to the log sections. The depth scale can help you to correlate the log data with the subsurface geology and the well objectives. Pay attention to the lithology symbols. These symbols will tell you what type of rock the drill is passing through, such as shale, sandstone, limestone, or dolomite. The lithology symbols are based on the visual inspection and analysis of the drill cuttings, which are small pieces of rock that are brought to the surface by the drilling fluid. The lithology symbols can help you to identify the formation boundaries, the reservoir quality, and the hydrocarbon potential of the well. Look for any gas shows. These are usually indicated by spikes in the gas chromatograph or total gas tracks. The gas shows can help you to detect the presence and quality of oil and gas in the formation, as well as the pressure and temperature conditions of the wellbore. Review the drilling parameters. These can include the rate of penetration, ROP, the weight on bit, WOB, and the mud weight. The drilling parameters can help you to evaluate the drilling performance and efficiency, as well as the formation strength and stability. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more oilfield related content. Questions? Do you have any questions about the oil and gas industry? Leave them in the comments section below and we will try to answer them. Until then, stay curious and keep drilling.